Welcome to my channel. We are going to look at the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor of Lagos State and the administration of Peter Obi as governor of Anambra State. Because for a long time now, people used to make comparisons about the two administrations. Those who are marketing Bola Ahmed Tinubu are marketing him that he performed tremendously well in Lagos. And even the Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself keep on saying that he want to replicate his successes in Lagos throughout Nigeria. That is one of the things he want to accomplish as president of Nigeria if elected. And Mr. Peter Obi himself has been running for president on the strength of his performance as governor of Anambra State. So we are going to do a comparative analysis of these two administrations. And I'm not going to be the one making it. I'm going to use independent verifiable sources that have no need to favor any of the two candidates. So it's going to be based on independent assessment by separate entities that has no interest whatsoever to favor any of the candidates. Now, Lagos State as a state was created in 1967. That was when Lagos was first created as a state in 1967. And then in 1968, it assumed an administrative status with Lagos Island playing the role of capital of Lagos State and capital of Federal Republic of Nigeria. That was the role that Lagos Island was played by 1968. It was both Lagos Island was both the capital of Lagos State and the capital of Nigeria, playing that very important role. However, in 1976, Lagos Island was separated as a separate entity, and the Ikeja became the capital of Lagos State. Why I'm explaining these things? Because we have to understand where Lagos is coming from. And besides, Lagos is even much older than Lagos in general is much older than Anambra State. Lagos as an entity was made capital of Nigeria in 1914, and it was a status Lagos retained until 1992, when Babangida insisted that the capital of Nigeria must move to Abuja, because Abuja was a creation of the federal government, but the civil servants who were living in Lagos at the time were reluctant to move to Abuja. So Babangida has to use military fiat to compile them by 1992. So if you don't move, you'll be sacked. Now, Lagos therefore has a lot of advantages. Lagos is where Nigerian seaports are located. In fact, Lagos ports have been given more advantage than any other ports in the country. So Lagos having so much revenue through things like the ports available to it has some of the advantages that Lagos enjoy. Because of Lagos, other ports are deliberately underutilized in Nigeria. Port Harcourt is underutilized. Warri Port is underutilized, Calabar Port, Sapele Port, they were all underutilized just to favor Lagos for whatever reason. But it's only in a country like Nigeria where leaders don't think that they will concentrate all the effective ports in one particular area and leading to so much congestion that is being witnessed in Lagos. And many people do not know it. There's a special government policy of Nigeria that pharmaceutical products must all be imported through Lagos ports. Given the fact that many pharmaceutical companies are owned by people of South and Southeast, ordinarily, if pharmaceutical products are allowed to enter through Port Harcourt or Calabar, there will be no need for many Southeasterners to be living in Lagos so that they'll be bringing in pharmaceutical products into Nigeria. So when people talk about people living in Lagos, it is a result of government policies and programs on port issues. Now, so that is some historical sort of footnote about Lagos that is very germane to what we are discussing. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu became governor of Lagos State in 1999. He became governor of Lagos State in 1999. Now, there was an independent analysis of the budget of Lagos State that was done by Budget. Budget is spelled Budgi capital T. I'm sure many of you who are followers of civil society movement in Nigeria know about Budget. It's an organization, a non-governmental organization that is committed to transparency, accountability in budgeting in Nigeria. They do a lot of analysis concerning budgets of Nigeria, both federal and state. Not long ago, he did a budget analysis of Lagos state government between 1999, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu became governor, till 2015. Of course, you and I know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains the governor of Lagos State because he is the one that appoints who becomes governor of Lagos State. He is the one that determines who become members of the State House of Assembly. He is the one who determines who becomes local government chairman. He has literally Lagos in his pocket. So he has been the de facto governor of Lagos State since 1999. So you can now do the plus and minus and know how many years Tinubu has been in charge of Lagos State. So you can safely say that from that budget analysis, you cannot be looking at years of Tinubu's running of Lagos State. But the analysis I'm basing this one is based on the budget analysis from 1999 to 2015. And the conclusion of the budget analysis of Lagos state government budgets from 1999 to 2015 was that there is no transparency, there is no accountability in the budgets of Lagos State. It did not pass the test of transparency and accountability according to the budget. And they made examples of the poor state of infrastructure in Lagos, the overwhelming waste management challenge in Lagos, where refuse are taking over streets, the challenge of infrastructure, and concluded that despite the humongous amount of money that Lagos State receives through internally generated revenue, It has not been able to deliver the kind of service it ought to have delivered. And the, the, the budget people also made some startling revelations which will shock you. In 2017 budget of Lagos State, according to budget, in 2017 budget, mind you, I told you that Tinubu continues to be the governor of Lagos State. Forget about whoever is occupying the government house. It's Tinubu that is in charge because he determines who stays, who doesn't stay, who gets second time, and who doesn't get second time. Now, Lagos State government budgeted 6 billion for the maintenance of our house, so that's the government house, the overhead of government house. And budget discovered also that same year the federal government of Nigeria budgeted 1.32 billion for overhead cost for the maintenance of Aso Rock Villa. You can see that a state, just a state, Lagos State, small Lagos State, budgeted 6 billion for overhead costs of our Lausa government house. Aso Rock, they budgeted 1.32 billion, way more than double of what was budgeted by the federal government for Aso Villa. And the Lagos State House of Assembly was also notorious for not doing its oversight function. Because ordinarily, these are the kind of issue they're supposed to look into. How could Lagos State government overhead costs be higher than Aso Rock Villa overhead costs? But of course, as budget also found out, Lagos State is not run on any transparency or any accountability. There is a lot of opaqueness in the management of the resources of Lagos State, both the one they collected from the federal government allocation and the one they collected from internally generated revenue. So, and in their conclusion, the budget said that time has come when Lagos State government should be challenged to be more transparent, to be more accountable to how it utilizes its resources. Because actually it earns humongous amount of money through internally generated revenue because of the position of Lagos as a commercial capital of Nigeria and former capital of Nigeria. And a lot of businesses were set up in Lagos because of the accident of geography. And also because of like things I told you, where pharmaceutical companies are forced to import pharmaceutical product through Lagos ports. When we have Port Harcourt, we have Calabar Port, we have Ibom Port, we have Warri Port, we have Sapele Port. They were all underutilized for whatever reason, which in a sane society, it wouldn't have been the case because they would have decentralized the ports and it would have helped to decongest the Lagos ports. But you see, they keep on developing Lagos ports, keep on Tinkan Island, all these ports and that port. At the end of the day, the congestion continued. But if we are a nation of thinking people, thinking leaders, the ports could have been decentralized so that Port Harcourt can be handling things that has to do with Eastern Nigeria, while Lagos handle things that has to do with Southern Nigeria. Then those from Northern Nigeria, they can decide to utilize either Port Harcourt or Calabar Port, whichever is closer to them, and they make things easier. So Lagos gets a lot of money, and if Lagos money were to be in the hand of prudent managers, Lagos would have been bigger, better than it is today because of a lot of advantages that it enjoys. Now, Lagos, between that 1999 to 2015, Lagos has earned, Lagos budget has been over 1 trillion, but there is basically nothing to show for it according to the budget in their analysis. So, and they concluded that there is no transparency at all. There is no accountability. Nobody asks questions because the State House of Assembly is literally in the pocket of the governor. He can send any budget, they will approve it, and there is no interrogation of anything at all. And you know that whoever is governor of Lagos is merely holding forth for Mr. Tinubu, who is the de facto governor of Lagos State since 1999. So when people begin to talk about that Tinubu has achieved a lot, you have to look at it from the perspective how transparent was his administration, and the verdict from the budget say that what they saw on ground in terms of development in Lagos from 1999 to 2015 is not commensurate with the amount of money that has entered Lagos State purse, both from the federal government and internally. Before I go to Anambra State to talk about Anambra State and Governor Obi, let me first of all ask you that if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, because when you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now let us look at Anambra State. Anambra State was created in 1991. By the time Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State in 2003, Anambra was barely 12 years old as a state. The capital of Anambra State, Awka, was like a mere village. So Anambra and the capital, Awka, has to develop from ground zero, if you like. Don't forget, Anambra was also part of the states in the eastern region that were destroyed by 3 year civil war, which claimed more than 3 million lives, and the properties of people of southeastern region totally destroyed. They had to start life afresh after this 1970, after the war ended in 1970. By the time Peter Obi became governor of Lagos State, governor of Anambra State, sorry, he did not inherit a place, a capital like Lagos Island, like Ikeja, or anything of that nature. He started from ground zero. And before then, the People's Democratic Party that was in power had literally destroyed the state too. Because if you recall, Senator Ngigo was governor, but there were some godfathers that were making things difficult for him. Anambra was literally ungovernable. Before then, Mbadinuju, as governor of Anambra State, literally destroyed the state in terms of poor performance. Teachers were owed salaries for years. Health workers were not working. Anambra was totally on its knees. Mr. Peter Obi came in and began to settle all the debts that was owed by the previous administration, begin to build the roads that were awarded by previous administration but were uncompleted, especially the ones by Dr. Ngige, and so many other things. Now, this thing I'm telling you about analyzing now is based on the what Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, former Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy, what he said about Mr. Peter Obi in one of his books, one of her books, her memoirs, Reforming the Unreformable. And she talked about how Anambra was receiving one of the least of federal allocations. Yet Mr. Peter Obi was building roads. He was providing other infrastructures. He was funding education. And he was still saving money to the level that by the time he was leaving power, Anambra was not owing any contractor. Anambra was not owing any bank. Anambra was not owing any pension or gratuity to anyone. Yet he left about 75 billion naira as savings. In fact, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said that he envied Mr. Peter Obi because he was able to leave his state more solvent than he made it, richer than he made it, saved so much money for them. Ngozi lamented that when they wanted to save at the federal level, some people stopped it, that it is not the duty of federal government to save money, that the responsibility of government, federal government, is to share the money. He said, but Peter Obi was one of the few governors that insisted that there should be need for saving. But even the little one they saved, he said, it was eventually spent. So he talked about Peter Obi's capacity for transparency, accountability in handling the resources of his state. And he left with his integrity intact. And nobody has ever accused him, either by the EFCC or of tampering with the money of Anambra State. So he left a record of achievement. Anambra State was virtually at the bottom in the education sector. He moved the state to number one. And Anambra has remained on top since then. What did he do? He put money in the right places in the education sector and returned most of the schools back to the missionaries. And he funded them, were paid the teachers. He galvanized a nursing motors by patronizing it so that the local industries can grow. And he bought over 1,000 pieces of buses and other brands of cars from a nursing. That is why nursing today is a strong brand to reckon with, because Peter Obi was deliberate in patronizing it. Now, if you look at what Ngozi said, as I told you, you can go and verify what I'm telling you about what Ngozi wrote about Mr. Obi's transparency, accountability, and prudent management of resources in Anambra State. He was so transparent that even when he was handing over, it was done in public with the banks that were holding the monies he saved for Anambra State present at the venue. That is why today a lot of people give him respect. And now to confirm that Peter Obi was transparent as a government, let me tell you that Sheun Onibide, one of the co-founders and CEO of Budget, of Budget, in February, even before the start of before Peter Obi could declare to contest for governor, Sheun Onibide floated the idea that they should raise grow some crowdfunding, that they should do crowdfunding. Are you getting it? This is somebody whose job as a civil society person is to monitor budget. So he was so confident in the integrity of Mr. Peter Obi that Budget co-founder mold the idea to crowdfund 10 billion naira to support Peter Obi's presidential campaign. Because according to him, Peter Obi needs to be supported to be president of Nigeria. And he felt that if he's not supported, if there's no such crowdfunding, that they would the political process will be hijacked by the money bags. Of course, like Sheun Nibude feared, it eventually happened. The money bags hijacked the whole process. You can see that the money bags hijacked the presidential ticket of APC and PDP. So, but why this is important is because somebody whose job, whose mission is to ensure transparency and accountability in budgeting felt it necessary because he has confidence of Mr. Peter Obi. As an expert who studies budget, I have no doubt that Shehu Onibinde had studied the budget of Anambra State under Peter Obi and found it to be impeccable, brimming with transparency and accountability, that he felt that such a man should be the president of Nigeria. So that's where I come to the end of this our discussion. And as Nigerians go to vote, let them vote wisely. Let them vote wisely. This country is in dire straits. You need someone with the pedigree of Mr. Peter Obi to be able to salvage the situation. Thank you for watching this. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell when you subscribe to my channel, and share it widely. Anytime I have a new video, you are among the first. You'll be among the first to know. God bless you.